So let's talk. I thought I'd start talking about my faith for my first video on YouTube, as well as the difference in between cultural appropriation, cultural similarities, and cultural exchange. I'm going to share the story about Welcome to my channel. Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm EgyptNile, and welcome to my channel. So let's talk. I thought I'd start talking about my faith for my first video on YouTube, as well as the difference in between cultural appropriation, cultural similarities, and cultural exchange. And cultural appreciation I'm gonna get towards the end of the video, but let's start with those three first. And yeah, let's get to it. So, this is so awkward. I'm so used to making videos on TikTok and making like short little videos. So this is a little bit awkward for me. Anyways, let's start with my faith. My faith is Ifa, and I'm also an Obeah woman. What is Ifa and what is Obeah? Well, if you want to know a little bit more about it, you can just Google it yourself, but I'll share a little bit. Ifa is an African traditional religion from ancient Yoruba beliefs from West Africa. We believe in the Orishas. We also believe in Aladamari, and if you don't know what that is, Google. And then Obeah is from Jamaica. Obeah is like a woman that practiced witchcraft from the Caribbean. My family's been doing it for generations. And Ifa is just something I'm still learning myself. So correct me if I'm wrong on anything. I'm still learning a lot myself. If you want to learn more and actually interested in the faith, we are a closed practice, but you can speak up to a Babalawo or Ida. Research that yourself. And yeah, so let's get into the video. So what is cultural appropriation? I'm gonna give the definition of cultural appropriation right here, and I'm gonna add in examples of what cultural appropriation is. A cultural appropriation would be, a great example would be Gwen Stefani. She's done a lot of cultural appropriation. I think that was like the popular thing to do in the 90s and early 2000s, especially as a white woman that's like a pop star, taking random stuff from cultures you're not a part of, and instead of going there and learning the language and the people and the culture, you just take random stuff you like because it's cute and it's stylish and aesthetics. So yeah, you take from that. That's cultural appropriation would be a great example. Or dressing up as a Native American for Halloween, or stuff like that would be considered cultural appropriation. So what does that got to do with my faith and culture? Well, a lot of people don't know what Ifa is. A lot of people don't know what is an Obeah woman? You know, most people don't know what that is. We're rare. And most people don't know the history of slavery and how much it impacted us in our cultures. And due to slavery, cultural exchange happened. And what is cultural exchange? I'm going to give another definition on cultural exchange here, and I'm going to give examples. A cultural exchange is my culture. Cultural exchange, without that happening, my culture wouldn't probably exist. I mean, I'd probably be practicing Ifa still, but I wouldn't be an Obeah woman, because being an Obeah woman and a person in general, our faith is mixed with Native American culture, mixed with West African. Due to slavery, the Obeah practices came about. I only know about Jamaica, but Obeah practices is throughout the Caribbean. In Jamaica, where my mother's from, the Maroons came about when they mixed cultures with Tainos and West Africans that were on the land, and they went to the mountains together and they mixed culture. So yeah, their culture is mixed together, and some people make don't know about our culture at all. Like, most people don't even know what the Maroons is. Like, what is the Maroons? Like, when I tell people my culture and background, they're like, cool, you're Jamaican, but like, what is a Maroon? What is that? You know? So yeah, it's kind of hard explaining that. So I understand why some people may call me a colonizer, or I appropriate other cultures because they don't know much about it. But it's easy Google search. It's really not that hard to Google stuff. But yeah, that's the difference. And let's move on to cultural appreciation. Appreciation, a great example would be going to the land and learning about the culture, talking to the elders of that culture, learning the language and the peoples and their foods and stuff. You can do that. A lot of cultures are welcoming. Yeah, there's closed practices and stuff, but like, you can still learn about the culture and the people and the history of it all. Although a lot of stuff out there may be diluted, and each culture is different. Even with Ifa, the religion, it differs because our traditions and practices is oral teachings. We learn by we learn by mouth, you know. We learn our traditions is spoken. It's not written down. So each culture of Ifa is different. It's all Ifa, but it's all different, you know. So yeah, even with that, we're gonna have different cultures and culture similarities because of that, but it doesn't make it cultural appropriation. And I feel like a lot of times on like TikTok and other platforms that are like TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all that, a lot of people call out cultural appropriation when it's not cultural appropriation. It's cultural similarities. It's cultural exchange. You know, I've seen people attack Black people for using white sage, and they're practicing an African traditional religion. If you know anything about African traditional religions in America, a lot of our traditions mix with natives because of slavery. Like, do you know anything about slavery in our history? It's not that hard to research, guys. Can we stop going after Black people about everything? Like, please, just Google. It's not that hard. A lot of our practices use white sage. Like, it's pretty important to us as much as Native Americans, even though like I'm mixed. I'm Choctaw, and I'm also Jamaican, African American. Yeah, but anyways, a lot of our practices and cultures is mixed because of slavery. And I just wish people ask more, what is your practice? What is your background? And like, what is the history of it? Instead of attacking and saying, no, you can't use this because you're not Native American or because you're not Black. Why not ask, what is your culture? What is your practice? What is your background? So you can learn about the cultural similarities and cultural differences in the history of it all. Instead of we're attacking each other. I've seen so many pointless arguments on TikToks from like, a lot of this stuff can not only be researched, but it can be talked through. We can talk through this stuff. A lot of this stuff we can be learning together. I love learning about other cultures. I wish people love learning about mine too, instead of attacking me or attacking other people. We could be learning a lot. And I just wish that someday, maybe soon, we learn more and communicate instead of attack each other. And that's all I wanted to say. I'm going to be making more videos on this account. I changed everything to EgyptNile. Oops. This keeps falling down. This is supposed to be a corset, and maybe it needs to be tightened in the back more. I don't know. Because I put this on myself, and it's pretty hard to put on. But, yeah. Anyways, follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I'm going to be making a lot more content, re-uploading stuff, and editing stuff. I can't wait, and I'm excited to make a lot of more content for you guys. Let me know anything you want me to talk about. That was me. If you're a kid and you're online, you see social media, whatever, of websites, just go. Don't come in my space because like 90% of my content is not for kids. It's 18 and older, and I'm just a thought trying to educate people on my faith and have a good time. Sorry, kids. Should probably like get off my stuff.